In the shimmering courts of Persepolis, where the wisdom of ages met the splendor of a mighty empire, there lived a princess whose beauty was said to rival that of the goddess Anahita herself. Her name was Alysia, a figure so enchanting that poets from distant lands journeyed just to catch a glimpse of her radiance. Yet, her beauty, a gift from the heavens, would become the source of a tale that echoed through time. A tale of love, defiance, and the fragile nature of power. Alysia was born under a sky filled with stars, each one a witness to the birth of a legend. The daughter of King Artaxerxes III, she grew up surrounded by luxury, yet she was untouched by the arrogance that often accompanied such wealth. Her skin was as soft as the finest Persian silk. Her eyes sparkled with the wisdom of someone far beyond her years, and her hair flowed like the dark, rich rivers of her homeland. But it wasn't just her appearance that captivated those around her. It was her grace, her intelligence, and her kind heart that truly set her apart. From the moment she entered womanhood, suitors from all corners of the known world flocked to the Persian court, each hoping to win her favor. They brought with them treasures and promises, but Alysia's heart remained unmoved. She smiled politely, conversed charmingly, but held her own counsel, dreaming of a love that would stir her soul rather than simply meet her father's expectations. One evening, during a grand celebration at the palace, Alysia's eyes met those of a young nobleman named Dariush, who had recently returned from a diplomatic mission to Media. Unlike the others who sought her hand, Dariush did not approach her with arrogance or entitlement. Instead, he offered her a simple, sincere greeting. They spoke of many things, of poetry, of philosophy, of the vastness of the empire and the mysteries of the stars. In him, Alysia found a kindred spirit, someone who saw her not just as a princess, but as a person with her own dreams and desires. As the days passed, Alysia and Dariush grew closer, their conversations becoming longer, their walks through the palace gardens more frequent. They shared laughter, dreams, and a deep, unspoken understanding. Yet, they both knew the reality of their situation. Dariush was a nobleman, and she was the king's daughter, destined for a marriage that would serve the empire's interests, not her own heart. Despite their awareness of the potential consequences, Alysia and Dariush could not deny their feelings. They continued to meet in secret, their love growing stronger with each passing day. They exchanged letters filled with poetry and promises, and in the quiet corners of the palace, they shared stolen moments of happiness. Their love was a gentle, beautiful thing, like a delicate flower blooming in the desert, but it was also fragile, ever vulnerable to the harsh realities of their world. Eventually, rumors of their affection began to spread through the palace. The whispers were quiet at first, but as they reached the ears of the king, they became impossible to ignore. King Artaxerxes, a ruler known for his sternness and adherence to tradition, was deeply troubled by the news. He had always planned to use Alysia's marriage to secure a powerful alliance, and the thought of his daughter's heart being claimed by a mere nobleman was unacceptable. Summoning Alysia to his chambers, the king confronted her about the rumors. He was not angry, but there was a sadness in his eyes as he spoke. "My daughter, you know the weight of the crown you bear," he said gently. "Your marriage is not just a union of two people, but a bond between nations. I cannot allow your heart to lead us into a path that may weaken the empire." Alysia, with tears in her eyes, pleaded with her father to understand that her love for Dariush was true and deep, a bond that could not be easily broken. But the king was resolute. He gave her a choice: to marry the Prince of Bactria, a powerful ally who would strengthen Persia's position, or to relinquish her status and live as an ordinary woman, far from the court and its intrigues. Torn between her duty to her father and her love for Dariush, Alysia spent many sleepless nights pondering her decision. She loved Dariush with all her heart, but she also understood the weight of her responsibilities as a princess. In the end, she made a decision that reflected both her love and her understanding of duty. Alysia chose to step away from the throne, renouncing her royal title and all the privileges that came with it. She chose love, but she also chose to honor the responsibilities she had carried since birth by ensuring that her decision would not bring dishonor or chaos to the empire. With a heavy heart, she said goodbye to the life she had known and prepared to leave Persepolis with Dariush. News of Alysia's choice spread throughout the empire, leaving the court in shock. But the people, who had always admired her for her beauty and grace, now held her in even higher regard for her bravery and integrity. She had chosen love over power, a life of simplicity over one of luxury, and in doing so, she had become a symbol of hope and resilience. Alysia and Dariush settled in a small, peaceful village far from the grandeur of the Persian capital. There, they lived a quiet life, surrounded by nature and the simple joys of companionship. Their love, once threatened by the expectations of royalty, flourished in the freedom they had chosen. They tended to a small garden, read poetry by the light of the moon, and shared stories of the lives they had left behind. In this life, they found true happiness, a happiness that was not defined by wealth or power, but by the love they shared and the peace they had found. Though Alysia was no longer a princess, her story did not fade into obscurity. Her choice inspired countless others, both within and beyond the empire. Her name became synonymous with courage, love, and the strength to follow one's heart, even when it led away from the path that others had laid out. The poets who once sang of her beauty now sang of her wisdom and the love that had defied the expectations of an entire empire. King Artaxerxes, though saddened by his daughter's departure, eventually came to understand and respect her decision. He saw in her choice a reflection of the values he had always hoped to instill in his children: integrity, courage, and the wisdom to choose what is right over what is easy. Though he never saw her again, he carried her memory with pride, knowing that she had followed her heart without compromising her honor or her duties. Alysia's legacy lived on long after she and Dariush had passed from this world. Their story became a timeless legend, told and retold through the generations as a reminder that true beauty lies not in one's appearance, but in the choices one makes and the love one gives. In the end, Alysia's beauty did not bring war or destruction, but rather a profound lesson in the power of love and the importance of staying true to oneself, even in the face of overwhelming expectations. And in that, her story continues to inspire and resonate with those who hear it, even to this day. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button.